Have you been home? Have you been home?
You don't reckon he's been home, look?
Yeah. What do you mean you're not
Got a sachet? I'll fill up the hot water out of the thing.
The main man, Paul Sands here, making the coffees. Good old boy. Right, so this weekend, it's now Monday morning, the 23rd, is it, Matthew? 23rd?
Something like that.
We've had Ricky. Ricky's been out this weekend servicing the trucks, and not on this axle, but on the
Rick.
middle axle. We had seized caliper, so we've just had to go and get some parts this morning. Ricky's just fitting that, and we had what else did we have go wrong? Brake chamber.
You've been here all weekend, and you, Rick?
Yeah. Have you been home? Have you been home?
You don't reckon he's been home, look?
Yeah. Ricky Salter for all your HGV needs.
There he is.
Brings the van at the mobile workshop, lovely. So we're just going around giving these a yearly, 6 monthly, should I say. They've just had their MOTs and that, but we're just dropping the oil. Ricky's just giving them a service up, checking everything over. We also do the 6 weekly inspections, but this is before that. So it was quite a good job that we did that this weekend, because we found a seized caliper. So as I say, we've changed it back over because it was easy to do on the front, so we've moved one from the front to the middle axle and put a new one on the front. And as you can see as well, on these lorries, on the side, because we're going into London picking up the digestate, we have to have all the cameras and sensors on for anything on the left-hand side for cyclists and cars and everything. It's all part of the Traffic for London jobby, which is another money scam, which costs a load of money. It was about 1,200 quid. We had a camera set before, but then it had to be upgraded again. They've all just been done. So we're fully up to spec now. This one hopefully will be back on the road later on this evening, ready for work tomorrow. Everybody else is out carting digestate. We just had some more parts turn up actually from UK Truck Parts. This is where we get all our lorry spares and that from. Ricky uses them, so we've just jumped off the back of Ricky really and started using them for all our lorry parts. What are you laughing at, Ricky?
That woman was like, is that a camera filming?
Yeah.
I think she's happy about that.
Ricky Salter. So that's the crack. And then last week we also had some new some new drag hose from Tram Spread. What pipe's this, Will?
That's the Mandel's PU Dragman Premium. That's the best. I reckon it's meant to be the best on the market.
Yeah.
So Tram Spread done an abrasive test. Apparently they had 2 pipes. What was the other manufacturer of the pipe?
G&H.
G&H, yeah. And they had the two pipes laid to each other, and they had an abrasive thing. And apparently how many strokes it done.
Sander.
Yeah, and they'd done a test, and apparently this was the most resistant to being abrased. And we put new couplings on it, these new shook couplings. That's just an adapter on the end there.
So we were Storts.
Storts.
Which is that.
But we found, because they're aluminium, it's quite soft, and you get these bits here where it locks into another one. These bits here, they bloody rip out. So we got these ones here, similar to a slurry cap, but they've just got a centre tube piece.
Called a Schutz, isn't it?
Yeah, Schutz coupling, and they can you can roll them up from either end rather than being a male and female. Then you just put a clip on here, and then we put some. You probably see them here, black sleeves on there, just ready if we do get a hole, the dreaded hole.
Yeah. So the reason we originally went away from drag hosing to the Veen House was because the pipe wasn't as good a quality sort of 5-6 years ago, and pipes moved on a fair bit, and we had a lot of downtime with the Veen House. So we've decided to move sort of back to drag hosing away from the Veen House. So we'll give it a go in the next couple of days. Hopefully we'll be back out with this now, and we'll give it a go. We've got the 12-metre drug bar. We're just giving this an engine service this morning. Put the bigger tyres on the 750s on the front, and are they 900s on the back, are they?
Yeah,
900s on the back, just for try and reduce the compaction on the fields. 12-metre dribble bar. We've had Ollie out from Samson this morning, from Oliver's, because Paul's auto lube on the side of his tank had stopped working, so they've just replaced the motor on the bottom of it. and that should hopefully be fine now. He said it's all working, and at the weekend we picked up our wheel weights. They've been shot blasted and painted black.
They're done by Rod Norman React plant in Whittam.
Yeah.
We've done some of the D-Techs for us as well.
Yeah.
He shot blasted and painted the wheel weights because they look hateful in red on the tractors.
And then also last week we managed to sell our second-hand slurry cat tanker. It's 22.5 cube, 24 cube, sorry, with a 24 metre Vogelsang boom on. So that's actually going over into East Essex, over to Mersey. So yeah, we're just doing a few finishing touches, changing a few pipes on there for the new owner, ready for him to pick up this week. So the reason we've sold it is because it's only fixed at 24 metres, so you can do 24 or 12 metre spreading with that. And most of our customers are now on 30, 32, 36 metres, so hence why we upgraded to the Samsons a few years ago. And at the end of this year we'll probably be changing the Samsons. This one's done, it's 4 years old and it's done 540,000 cube, I think. So by the end of this year it'll have done close to 700,000, 650, 700,000, depending on the weather, how much more rain we get at the minute. As you can see, it's sat in the yard today. We had 7 mil of rain overnight, a bit frustrating. Finished a headland off this morning that's going sugar beet, you know, on stubble, after some sheep for a farmer at Duxford, Lewis Duke. And the rest of the day now we're just tipping in a lagoon just to let the water soak in, and we'll have another go again tomorrow is the plan. So we're just literally maintenance day. Ricky finishing off the lorry, and yeah, just getting the 8 to 8 ready. Got the Defender back as well, finally. Haven't had it since September. Cut a long story short on it, 10,000 miles over the service, engine went bang. Marshals at Cambridge basically kept cancelling my service, cancelled it 3 times, told them, look, this is not ideal, you know, it's going to blow up, and they said keep driving it, the earliest we can get you in's November. I said, what if it blows up before? Never answered the question, went bang. Basically, even though it was booked in with them, they've walked away from it. Had to get an independent to do it because it was half the price of what they wanted. They wanted 26,000 plus the VAT. Got it done for 15 grand. Brand new Land Rover engine put in it, D300, and we're back up and running again. So yeah, that's the crack there. Pretty disappointed. Probably won't buy a vehicle off them again. Well, definitely won't, to be fair. Just because very disappointed with the after sales and how they treat you really as a customer. You know, you go and buy your first ever new truck, always bought second hand before, go and buy a new one and then get treated like that, you sort of leaves a bad taste in your mouth really. So yeah, that's the story behind the Defender. So yeah, so no, Ricky's serviced a couple of the other lorries this weekend. He's just finishing off the breakdown on here, and then yeah, we'll finish off a bit more engine servicing this weekend on the other lorries that are left, and then hopefully this week we'll get back out on the land, hopefully get some seed beds prepared for the sugar beet, and yeah, that's the crack. Thank you very much.
Welcome back, Wednesday. We're up here at Sawston today. As you can see behind me, it's looking a little bit different up here today. We've got Mitch and Ian up there with the 14 tonner, the tree shear, and the 8 tonner with a flail on the front of it. Yeah, so we've taken on this land here last year. When we first took it on, it was an absolute mess down here. It was all overgrown. So quite a lot of work went into that. Previously, it's not been ditched out or looked after in probably 20, 30 years. So yeah, so we've taken it on to get it all tidied up and get the land back to a manageable state. So as you can see, we've just walked downstream here a bit. And it's just sort of one of the points where the boys started off this morning. As you can see over here, so this is a good example to sort of show what we're trying to achieve here. Is over there, because you can see there's there's a stem that has snapped out and it's come across the water and it's blocked up the flow here with all twigs and debris blocking it up. So you can see where it's been flowing around it and it's eroded a fair chunk off the bank there. And only within a couple of hours difference, you can already see here by where the previous water level was. So just within a couple of hours of that being removed, the water levels dropped by a good 6 to 8 inches already, which is exactly what we're trying to achieve. Is we're trying to achieve that flow and the sort of capacity of the water to flow downstream instead of just sitting in one spot and not being able to go anywhere, if you know what I mean. But we'll walk round and we'll explain as we go, and then we'll head over to the boys and show and explain to you what they're doing. So as you can see, we've just walked up to one of the culverts where the water is currently stationary. It's just so blocked up, it's got nowhere to go. So Ian's been across here with a tree shear, snipped a few of the overhanging branches out. As you can see, the whole idea of doing this is not to remove all the trees and the shrubbery out completely, because we still want to leave trees intact for the habitat, birds and that sort of stuff. So it's not all about just going in and going absolutely manic on it, taking everything out in sight. It's just handling it in little manageable bits. So the next step with this will be is once Mitch makes his way around here, he'll go along with a flail, get rid of all the bramble out here, flail that down as much as possible, and then this will be dug out and cleared out, because as you can see here, there's a lot of crap that's built up over the years, which, to be fair, it's nearly the same height as the culvert, so hence why it's not really flowing away. Because yeah, once this is all nice and cleared out, this will be nice, free flowing, and hopefully we'll be able to find some land drains in here as well. If there is any, we don't currently know. So if we can find some land drains and get them unblocked and running, that'll be an extra added bonus. So as you can see here, there is a fair amount of reeds in this part of the ditch here. So this is exactly what we want out. As you can see, it just holds the water in, doesn't allow it to flow anywhere, and it's just a nuisance, to be honest. But once these are dug out, they'll be back to manageable levels. So worst case, just every year, then we can run over it with a hedge cutter, and in that way it's a lot easier to maintain that way, than having to come with these bits of kit every couple of years and keep doing it. So once it's, like I say, at a manageable level, hedge cutter will be plenty enough to keep this maintained. So right here, all the piles of brush, as you can see, they've all been laid out nicely in a nice neat row all the way along the bank here, all facing the same way. So when it comes to picking them up with either the grab or the muck grab and the loader, it makes it nice and easy. You can just come up to it, pick it up in a bundle, take it to a pile where we'll either be burning it or not sure what we're going to do with it yet. We might even get a tree chipper in for it. So yeah, so that's the plan. That's the plan with that. Obviously Ian's laid them all nice and neatly, as you can see. So yeah, the whole idea is so they're not tangled up, because once you get them all tangled up and unneat, it just becomes a nightmare to try to clear up. But the way this has been done, it's absolutely spot on. Yeah. So here we have Ian on our 14-ton Volvo with the RSL tree shear, made in-house, not too far away from us actually, by a bloke called Richard Page up in Watford. Absolute great bit of kit, just for these sort of jobs, just makes life absolutely brilliant. All it really consists is a grab, So we've got a grab on the front, as you can maybe see, if maybe you can get a few shots or not maybe. You have a grab, and then underneath what will happen is you come up to a branch, you grab hold of it with the grab, and then as soon as the grab's closed onto it, there's a blade that literally comes along with a push by a big ram. I think it's about 20 or 30 ton of force, and it just comes along, snips it, and you'll be able to just turn around, drop it into a pile, as you may see. It can cut up to 12 inches. It's rotating as well, which makes it absolutely brilliant if you're going along an edge of a field, just trying to lift the crown of a tree up, to be able to get on a combine or whatever underneath. It's brilliant for that because you can twist it about and get it into places. It's Ian's first day on this today, so I came down here this morning and showed him how to use it. So he seems to be getting the hang of that quite well. No doubt within a couple of days, day or two or something, he'll be absolutely flying with it. So exactly earlier, what we talked about, the reason why we're taking these out, from what I was explaining, where these little wispy bits have popped up over the years by themselves. As you can see here is a perfect example of why we're removing them, because you can see here, there, and as you go further along, is they're growing in the ditch, uninvited, stopping the stream. And hence that is the reason why they're being removed. If they weren't in the way of the ditch, they would be left. We wouldn't remove them, but because they are causing an obstruction, that is the reason why we're here removing them today. So over here we've got Mitch on a 8-ton Volvo with a flail topper head attached to it. Digger is on hire from Ben Cannon up at Hyde Hall. So what Mitch is doing over here is basically just going along, flailing down all the little wispy bits, so bits that are sort of like that sort of size. It's just easier for the flail to go along and get them flailed down to ground level than it is for the shear to try and snip them one by one, otherwise it'll just take forever. As you can see, we're staying at a safe distance away, because there's a fair bit of chip flying off of that. Obviously, as you can see, there's a little bit of marks and track marks on the margin here, but this was all overgrown as well with shrubs. Ian was out here with the 820 and the front topper, topping all these down so we could get access, because previously you couldn't really see the ditch until he came out here and done that. But yeah, come springtime, once all the brush is off and this is all dug and cleaned out, these will probably get reprofiled again as we clean up, and come springtime you wouldn't even be able to tell that we came here. So this here behind me, as you can see, there's a fair bit of water sat up here, and this is exactly the reason of what we're doing, everything here today that we've talked through earlier. Just trying to get the water, instead of just, because the ditches are so high from build up of soot and reeds and stuff like that, it's not letting the water drop down. So it's currently the same level as the water table, so the whole point of us doing this is to drop the levels down, get the water flowing through, to avoid this exact reason, because this is exactly what we don't want. So yeah, well, hopefully once these ditches are all dug out, cleaned up, this will resolve this issue, because the water will be able to escape somewhere instead of just sitting on top and not going anywhere. As you can see here where the brown patches are, where obviously the water has been up to. It's not as bad as it is now, but it has been way worse, as you can see just by looking at it, which obviously ain't ideal, because now we got probably what's there, probably about an acre of crop that's been killed off, that won't grow now. same as across on the other side. There's another few little patches where the crop's being killed. So I don't know what the plan is with that. Might re-drill it, might not. I don't know. I don't know what Tom has in mind about doing about that, but we'll definitely have to do something about it. But yeah, as you hopefully might have learnt today, it's not all about sitting in kit driving about. It's part of it is about getting out, looking after the land. So it's not all fancy pants sitting about driving a nice kit. There is a fair bit involved behind the scenes, as you may have seen here today.